Best of r/entitled parents episode 141. Subscribe for edit videos daily. Hey guys, so this story takes place around mid-end of July. This is a part of one of my earlier stories, but at that time it escalated. My brother's birthday was coming up and I had just turned 15. My mom, who will now be referred to as EM, had no money for my birthday. So I got a message. EMOP, do you know where your clarinet case is? This is your mom, call me when you get this ASAP. Me, I just did. You didn't answer. EM, look for the case around the house before I get home. Me, why do you need my case? EM, to pawn it till September so I can get some stuff for birthday boy's birthday. Me, no, WTF. That's school property, I have to mail it back to Texas because without it I can't graduate. EM, I know we can mail it in September, OP I don't have any other way to get some money. Me, no, and I'm pretty sure birthday boy doesn't care. EM, I'm not selling it, just borrowing money till September. Me, it's a pawn shop, they can sell it in their store. EM, can we, OP? Me, why would I risk collage for a birthday? EM, I'm going to get it out the pawn on the 1st of September and it will help me, OP. Me, no. She threw a fit. But hope wasn't lost yet. I didn't actually look for my clarinet when I returned home. Surprisingly, 2 days later was my brother's birthday party and it wasn't bad. I'd like to mention that I have two brothers in this story. One's autistic and you'll understand why that's important later. The party was fun. A lot of food, and I was confused where EM got the money. I didn't bother to think that she pawned the clarinet. The next day I woke up and walked downstairs. The brother with autism was very upset and crying. He was also very angry, and it's best to leave him alone when he's angry. He saw me and said, "Where's my Switch?" Right then I connected the dots. She pawned his Nintendo Switch in order to get the money for the party. Ab asked again and I said I didn't know. He said I pawned it and I told him that you have to be 18 to pawn things. I'm 15. I went back upstairs and he followed. I looked at the top of my closet where my clarinet should be and it was missing. And I told him, don't you think it's weird that our mom suddenly got money for BB equals birthday brother BB's party around the same time that our things went missing? He didn't realize it and he told me that EM told him that I pawned it. A few months ago around Christmas I went to my grandma's on my mom's side. She told me that my mom left my clarinet there when she went to pawn the Switch. I since then moved out of EM's house and haven't really seen Ab often. The next time I saw him was 3 weeks ago at my grandma's house. He was very upset at me still and demanded I gave him money or a new Switch. I demanded EM to just tell him that she pawned it, but she said I'll tell him later, never actually did. On the bright side, I got my clarinet back and it wasn't broken. It now rests in my dresser in my room as I keep it as a trophy. Thank you. Next. So I am 16 and I have a job to save for when I get the fuck away from my insane mother and go to uni. Although a fair chunk goes to paying bills that my mother doesn't because she thinks she should pay less because she does housework, yells at us to do it. My work has a lot of at-risk staff members, so they are trying to keep them out the back away from customers if they have to work, and this has left a lot of shifts behind at registers and other things, so I have had lots of shifts coming up. Behind my back my mother rings my work and says to my boss that I can't work then because she is at risk. She really isn't. And my boss sorta says they need me and is there anything else we could put in place to make her more comfortable. She carries on, so my boss just gives them away to others and texts me to let me know what went down. I get the text and I'm furious, so I rang work and my boss explained what went down and apologized. Not that in any way it was her fault. Even more pissed off at my mother, I went and asked her why the hell she did that. She explained it was to limit our chances of getting corona, which I thought was fair enough, but I was still mad she didn't say something first. Then she proceeds to grab her handbag and walk to the door. I asked where she's going as we are trying to limit our chances of getting corona, and she says she's going to the hairdresser. WTAF, I can't go to work, which pays bills, but she can go to the hairdresser. I am pissed, so I gave her the spray of my life. I was literally shaking. She just gets in the car and drives off. Then 3 hours later I am sorta questioning where the fuck did she go because she wasn't back yet. I check the Find My Friends app and find she is at the lake. I ring her on my sister's phone as she doesn't answer when I call and ask her what she's doing at the lake. She's with her incredibly abusive friend. There's another story, having coffee at the lake because her friend was sad because his daughter was calling her out on her behaviors. I'm still furious and it's 4 days later we haven't spoken, besides when she threw boiling tea on me, which is another exciting story. I've talked to a few friends and they've offered to let me stay for a few days, but I feel bad because of the circumstances and I don't know how long it will last. I really hope this corona thing ends soon. I am going insane here. Anyway, sorry about any formatting issues. I am on mobile and stay safe. Thank you. Next. So last night I bought a Kindy Kids marshmallow dollars. I am a fan of Shopkins and the Kindy Kids. If you don't know what they look like, look it up, they are adorable. And went to pick her up at Target today. I received my doll and the box was poking out of the top of the bag. Me, ed, entitled dad. PW, poor worker. EB, entitled brat. EB, I like your doll, can I have it please? Me, no sorry, I just bought her and I need to find my mom. EB, but I want her. Enter ed, what did you do to my little pumpkin? Me, EB, she has my dolly. ED, give her the fucking doll, you don't need it. Adults don't have dolls unless they are pedos or retards. Me, actually a lot of people collect toys and dolls and I am one of them. Now I need to go find my mom. Ed, not until you give me that doll. At this point the entitled brat throws herself on the floor screaming her head off. ED, help assault. This pedo assaulted my baby and took her doll. Enter PW. PW, what is going on here? Me, ED, this spoiled BTCH assaulted my baby and took her doll. Me, no I didn't, I can prove it's mine on the Target app on my phone. ED, she is faking it. Show PW the pickup order on my phone. PW, she is right, it is her doll. Now please leave this girl alone. I leave with my parents and happily bring my doll home. You can find a pic of her on my profile. Thank you. Next. This was written by my GF. She doesn't have enough karma to post here, but she wanted to share the story anyway. Hi. I am sorry in advance for any mistakes. English is not my first language. I also tried to remember as much as I could of the conversation I had with the Karen trademark sign, so it is not perfect, lol. This is also my first post ever. So I work as an answering service for a few dental offices in the US. I live in Colombia, and because of Ms. Rona I had to start working from home just answering calls. The current office I am working for is closed. We are just talking calls and referring them to another place. Note that this branch is in New York, and because of that dentists can only see emergencies. But Ms. EM apparently didn't knew that. Here's how the convo went. Me, thank you for calling, how can I help you? EM, hi, I want my son to get a cleaning as he is not going to school. We can go now. Me, let me ask you, is your son in need of an emergency consultation? EM, I don't know, you tell me. He only needs a cleaning. Me, I'm sorry mom, we are not open. We are just talking calls for the office. I can refer you somewhere else, but they won't see you if it's not an emergency. EM, what do you mean? Is just a cleaning. Can't you guys open for him shortly? Me, no mom. As I told you, we can only see emergencies. If you want I can write down your information and we can call you back to schedule as soon as we have availability. But as for now I suggest you to stay inside your house. So, she went nuts with that last bit. EM, excuse me? Who are you to tell me I should stay in my house? My son is in perfect health. He is not sick. What do you mean you can't open for a simple cleaning? Me, we can see your son if he has pain, or if he broke a tooth, etc. Otherwise it's better to wait until the quarantine is over. EM, how unprofessional and rude. I am willing to pay cash right now. It is just a cleaning and you can't do that one thing for a child? Me, no mom. It seems we are not going to be able to help you. EM, yeah, you bet. Me, then I suggest you to go to another office. Thank you very much for calling. Have a great day. EM, and I am not recommending this place to anyone, lady. I actually never thought that someone like that could possibly exist, but I had a few laughs thanks to her. For anyone who might be reading this, stay in your house. You can save others by doing nothing. When are you all going to get a chance like this again? Just some quarantine hacks. There is a feature in Google Chrome that allows you to see Netflix with anyone remotely called Chromecast, so you can have the marathon of your life with your buddies. Thank you. Next. My dad had a girlfriend and she was really nice. She would give me and my brother sweets and would buy us pancakes, but she had a flaw called Charlie. Charlie was a 6-year-old boy and was a huge brat. He would mess up my room. He would ruin my brother's party, and worst of all, he would call me and my brother freaks because we are really close. I remember one day it was my brother's birthday, but he wasn't allowed to have a party because my dad's GF didn't want him to, so he went to a restaurant, and at the backyard of the restaurant I was hanging out with my brother and Charlie comes over and yells Millie and Casey sitting in a tree KISSING and that dumb song. But when we told my dad's GF, she told me and my brother off and yelled, "He is just a little boy, you brats." Thank you. Next. Actually happened a few weeks ago, just after the panic buying began. I work at Aldi in Florida. It's a pretty busy store most of the time, and Aldi requires that its cashiers move extremely fast when checking items out. I have to put all my focus on doing the transaction, and so I'm not looking at anything but the items I need to scan. Also, with the virus now spreading in Florida, we've been given boxes of those blue gloves, so we're at least a little safer when we're working. I hear children running around the store. I finish one transaction and look at them. They're getting on the other registers, pressing buttons, typical unruly kid stuff, while their parents apparently aren't around. I caught one of them trying to take the box of gloves I had next to my register, though she backed down after I looked at her. Finally, in comes their father to my register. I know because he's telling the kids to cut it out, but it's clear he doesn't care and they know it. Annoying, but I started the transaction so I could get them all out as quickly as possible. Just as I was halfway done, I catch Dad taking a set of gloves out of the box that were meant for US workers. I called him out on it, but the damage was done. He had the gloves now, so he just says sorry, like what he did wasn't selfish and entitled. We're risking the safety of ourselves and our families coming into work, and those gloves provide at least some protection against people who may be sick or just gross. He takes them like he's the one at greater risk. Who in the hell do you think you are? Buy your own, use them, and fuck off, dude. To make things worse, I'd found that his kids had gloves of their own as well, that they did not have earlier, but since they had them now, there was nothing I could do. Dad leaves with his items and his kids follow, gloves and all. The nerve of that guy for both letting his kids be brats, and taking gloves from grocery store employees during a fucking pandemic. Edit. Words. Thank you. Next. This is my first time posting in this subreddit. I have been addicted to reading these stories. And I'm on mobile. Anyways, here is my entitled parents encounter. This story happened last January. I was at a cafe. I bought some coffee and got a seat at the nearest table. At this point my laptop is in the table, when entitled mom with nice son goes inside the cafe and then she sees me. Karen says, "Excuse me, can I sit in the seat?" I let her and her son sit. She then sees my laptop. Karen says, "What are you doing in that laptop?" I said, "I'm playing a computer game." And then she scoffs and tells me, "Well, if you're just going to use that laptop then you should give it to my son." I was quite confused with what she said, but I responded with, "This is my laptop. It's not your son's and I am not giving it to you." Her son finally says something, "Mom, let's go." They left, but Karen screamed at me about how rude I was because I didn't give her son the laptop before they gone outside.